forever connected with the city of New Orleans' recovery after Hurricane Katrina. In the Saints' first game back in the Superdome, Steve Gleason blocked a punt that cemented his legacy. So much has changed for Gleason since that night, as he currently battles ALS, or better known as Lou Gehrig's disease. His personal resilience connects back to the music that meant so much to him as a child growing up in Spokane, Washington, and the connection he felt to a band from nearby Seattle.
His body may have become a prison, but Steve Gleason's mind is forever free, especially when he's listening to music that means the world to him.
Hear the siren.
There is a line in the song. It's a fragile thing, this life we lead. If I think too much, I can get overwhelmed by the grace in which we live, with death over our shoulder. That line definitely strikes home for me.
Steve Gleason was a Saints special teamer when in 2006, his punt block in the first game at the Superdome after Hurricane Katrina inspired the city of New Orleans.
Look out! Right now! Steve Gleason!
Now, at 36, Steve Gleason is inspiring everyone in the wake of a 2011 diagnosis of ALS and an average lifespan of 2 to 5 more years after that. He is living the fullest life possible, raising awareness to help fund an ALS cure, and spending time with his wife Michelle and their young son Rivers.
Rivers, how are you? With school fun? Do you like it?
Communicating with them and the world by using his eyes and a keyboard to spell out words and form sentences, and the machine speaks for him, and finding his own inspiration in the music he loves.
I look at him as a person that is trapped in his body, but not in his mind or in his goodwill.
Since Steve's diagnosis, he and his family have grown close with Mike McCready, guitarist for Pearl Jam, whose music Steve has felt a deep personal connection to since his high school days.
I think I identified with their themes of repression, family strife, that ran through their music.
Steve met Mike 10 years ago, and more recently began exploring with him the similarities between playing on a football team and playing in a band.
I was like, wow, he should really ask us some questions someday.
Oh, I'm a lucky man to count on both hands the ones I love.
The music you guys have created has plastered the wall of my adolescent and adult life. It's really been a soundtrack of my life.
Earlier this year, the members of Pearl Jam asked Steve to interview them on video as they prepared to release their latest album, Lightning Bolt. Steve first spoke with the band as a whole, and then one-on-one with singer Eddie Vedder.
Every team has leaders. Drew Brees, for example, is a master of allowing the team shape success. Even Pearl Jam's tour success. And your position as leader, is there a philosophy that you try to implement to foster a team mentality?
It's so much more powerful when it's a group. And I think that's what people appreciate is, you know, the group.
I have my son Rivers. I am assembling a video journal library for him in case the experts are right about my timeline. You did not know your guy. What are a couple things you wish you knew about him?
That's a great question, and coming from you, I couldn't appreciate it more. Of course, I think just deep down, I just would have wanted to know just, you know, if he loved me and how much, you know. The other nice thing would have been some insight of, and you know, what it would be like to grow up and, you know, be a man, a good man, and I feel like I had to, figure that stuff out on my own. And a few guidelines would have helped.
Then came a revelation that perhaps only Steve Gleason could have elicited. Ed's now deceased father, he told Steve, had himself been a singer.
I ended up with 4 songs of him singing. Yep. And I just heard him for the first time last month.
Really?
Yeah. But the cool thing was, see, is he was good. So I was really proud of him. And, I wish he was around now, and I'd like to think he'd be proud of me, and now I get to be proud of him, which is a real cool thing.
Thanks, man.
I knew it was going to come in handy for something, but I didn't know what. Steve Gleason sitting in for Barbara Walters this week.
What struck you about Eddie's answer?
That he answered it all, I think. For him to share it in this setting and format is amazing. What I took away from the entire experience, including Ed's answer, was that they were gaining as much from me as I had from them. It was not charity or pity. It was this mutual respect, or even love. It's quite humbling.
For Steve to live inside the music that matters to him is gratifying. And those answers inform the greatest project of this part of Steve's life, the personal diaries that he is videoing for his son Rivers to watch.
Rivers, you're a good kid with a clean heart and pure soul. I am not worried that you will turn out bad, but the world can grind on you. Will I be proud of you? I am so proud. I am your father. I love you forever. Regardless of if I die tonight or 30 years from now, with these journals, I know that he will not question the level of his father's pride or love.
I just hope he knows that his dad is doing very important things for the world, and be happy about his pop.
Rivers, do you want to watch Pearl Jam?
It's a fragile thing. It's like we lead. If I think too much, I can't get overwhelmed by the grace by which we live our lives with their gold high shoulders.
I think about him every day. I want him to be better, and I want him to feel some moments of peace.
You're the guy who gave him those moments. Your band for 20 years has given him exactly that.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, I hope so. Thank you. I mean, if our music can make him heal and feel better about his life and give him some sort of comfort, then that's what doing music's about.
Chris Conley reporting there. Steve Gleason and his team Gleason members continue on their mission to create a global conversation about ALS to ultimately find the solutions that could end this tragic disease. As he listens to Lightning Bolt with Rivers, Steve says he hears in their music more contentedness and exploration, a sense of self and outward love that in some ways matches his own personal aggression. As for Pearl Jam, it will release its much-anticipated 10th studio album, Lightning Bolt, on October 15th, which also is available for pre-order now at pearljam.com and via iTunes. We'll be right back.